How you doing? I'm Kenny Gioia. Welcome to another one of my tutorials. In this video, we're going to learn about and discuss panning. Panning is the spread of a sound signal into a new stereo or multi-channel sound field. This is usually done with a panning knob that is labeled left and right, with center being right in the middle, or 12 o'clock as it's sometimes referred. So if the signal is panned to the left, the sound only comes out of the left speaker. If the signal is panned to the right, that sound only comes out of the right speaker. In the beginning, we only had one speaker, or mono, so a panning knob wasn't necessary. When stereo was invented, we now had two speakers, so we needed a way to put sound in either of them, or both of them, or anything in between. And then someone invented the panoramic potentiometer, or pan pot, as we usually call it. With this, we can direct any instrument to any point in the stereo sound field. Now, stereo is basically an illusion, as we don't really have a center speaker. By putting the sound in both speakers equally, it appears to be in the center. And by adding different amounts to each speaker, we can create the illusion that it's coming from anywhere in the stereo field. This effect will also vary depending on where you place your speakers. As an audio engineer, we tend to sit perfectly in between two speakers, so we hear the effect very clearly. But listeners don't always do this. Some people place their speakers all over their listening environment, erasing much of the panning we try to create. And others listen in headphones or earbuds, so the effect for them is even more dramatic, as hard left is really hard left, and hard right is really hard right. So we need to keep all of this in mind when using panning in audio. Now, we could use panning for many different things, and in many different ways. We could use it to create space for each instrument, which will make things easier to hear. For instance, if we have an acoustic guitar in one speaker and a piano in the other, they will each appear much clearer or distinct than if they were both panned in the center, or together. We can also use panning to give the feeling that a live band is in front of us, and all the instruments are in different areas of the room. Maybe the drums are in the middle, with the piano off to the left, and the guitar off to the right, basically mimicking what's happening in the room. It can also be used to make instruments sound wider. So if we mic the piano with two microphones on opposite sides, we could pan one of them left and the other right and create the illusion that the piano is the size of our stereo field. Finally, we can use panning to create effects, like having instruments start on one side and gradually move to the other to create motion. When I was a child, my dad had drag racing records that had a microphone placed at the starting line and another placed at the finish line. By panning one of them left and the other one right, it gave off the impression that the drag race was happening across my living room. It was pretty cool, at least to me. So anyway, let's dig in and learn more about panning and its uses. Let's go.